think that's a very good point because I do think that the first year or two was sort of the I don't know if I want to call it a honeymoon period for me with the working at home, but it was the time when I was just kind of focusing on those positives, and it was maybe a bit later that I started realizing like, oh, this is not necessarily the most productive way to do things because I can easily get distracted and do something else, waste the whole day, end up working until midnight or later in a lot of cases. So so I do think that it is important to sort of be conscious of work time versus leisure time, or at least, off the clock sort of time. And for me, it's something that I don't necessarily keep a really tight schedule where I say, okay, I'm going to start work at this particular time and not a minute later or a minute earlier. I don't necessarily get that rigid about it, but what I try to do with that I've found helpful is I try to be very aware of the time that I'm working and try to balance that, with leisure time or vice versa. So, if I'm working on something and it takes, most of the day, I'll go and try to take some time off from there. If I end up working, for example, like there's a project, there's a deadline I have to do, and I end up having to put in some hours over the weekend on a Saturday or Sunday. What I try to do is I sort of try to balance that in the following week if I'm able to. And if it's a bit of a lighter week, I will say, okay, well, since I went in and worked for, 6 hours this Saturday, maybe I'll go and I'll, for example, take the day off, go to a park or something for one of the mornings of the following week, and try to at least, like, even if I don't have that really well-defined time off, I can, make up for it later with the flexibility of my schedule.